What is up, guys? My name is P1all and welcome to the first episode of my Let's Play of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee on the Nintendo Switch. A massive thank you goes out to Nintendo UK and the Pokemon Company International for inviting me over to Pokemon's offices for an extended 2-hour session on these games, the debut Pokemon Nintendo Switch titles. I'm going to be giving my honest thoughts and opinions and rundown on every single little bit of this game that I was allowed to play. Over the course of the next 3 days, I'm going to be uploading 4 parts of my Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee Let's Play. I am so incredibly fortunate to be able to upload these 2 months before the games are even officially released, I guess. I'm going to be making these videos as good as I possibly can, so any support on this series would be really appreciated and really amazing. A like on this video would be incredibly appreciated. I couldn't do this video without being a sellout, freaking typical scumbag YouTuber, could I? Let's just jump straight into Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee then, shall we? I named my rival Richie because Richie is the name of the Pokemon Company International's PR manager, so I wanted to name him Richie because Richie has actually been really freaking supportive of every YouTuber on the platform, and I wanted to be lame and sappy and make him my rival. And I'm sorry if this gameplay is just a touch boring to begin with. I literally am just going around interacting with absolutely everything in the game. This little sequence on the TV, such an amazing subtle nod to Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. Anyway, we begin, of course we do, in Pallet Town. We are about to get our starter Pokemon. I take my time here because as I said, I just want to explore everything. Wanted to listen to the music. It's so nice. It's so just freaking lovely to hear it. Like, in person, it was insane. There are obviously good parts to this game, but there are a little bit of bad parts to the game. There's been a lot of negativity surrounding these games, maybe not being too focused towards the competitive main series players of the Pokemon community. I know that these games are officially targeting Pokemon Go players and people new to the Pokemon series, and a lot of people don't like that, understandably, right? Because we are so used to main series Pokemon games just being a traditional experience, expanding on things like abilities and all that kind of stuff. Abilities aren't in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and I don't like that. I wish abilities were in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, but having the game in your hand really does change your opinion. I was a little bit cynical about these games before the Pokemon Company wine and dine me, and now I'm just a massive shill. No, I was cynical about these games before actually playing them, but once you have them in your hands, you'll understand that it's just a Pokemon game. And if you like Pokemon, you will enjoy it. So that's my honest thoughts and opinions on it. The Pokeball Plus, while it was a little bit difficult to use at first, I got used to it. Though honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the Pokeball Plus. I'd rather play it handheld. I'd rather play it actually with a Joy-Con or something like that, but I'm definitely going to get a Pokeball Plus. Maybe I'll get more used to it. You don't have as many buttons as you typically do while using a Joy-Con, so it's going to be up to you guys to actually try that and play with it yourself. Right here, you have to go onto Route 1. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to skip the cutscene right there because the Pokemon Company would have sued my bottom, and they cut it out. They cut it out of the footage, so any cutscenes, stuff like the introductory sequence, I've had to cut out. Very likely, if you're a Pokemon YouTuber, you're going to have to cut that out of your Let's Play in November. Otherwise, you're going to get copyright strike. You're going to get copy strike. So, yeah. Anyway, we get our starter Pokemon. Here, Pikachu. Look at him. He's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. I miss this little guy. I wish I could use my little Pikachu in my actual playthrough in November, because I've lost this Pikachu. It's tragic. But our starter Pokemon, Pikachu. This Pikachu is very different to any normal normal Pikachu. Its base stats have been buffed. It is unable to evolve into Raichu. If you're playing Let's Go Eevee, you are of course going to be playing through the game with Eevee instead. Just like with Pikachu, its stats have been buffed. It learns some exclusive attacks, some exclusive elemental attacks. I don't know the base stats right now, but yeah, you can see them on screen right now. It's really strange. Met each other again in Pallet Town. Came to Kanto region through some mysterious force. It really seems like they're trying to sell the fact that you're a Pokemon Go player that has been thrust into the world of the Kanto region. And yeah, it sucks that abilities aren't in this game. But look how gorgeous the little background screen there is. Every single type of Pokemon has their own background in the party menu. This is also the item menu. You got the candy jar, you've got the catching pocket, which is where you keep all your Pokeballs and berries and that kind of stuff. The Pokemon box, the clothing trunk. The clothing trunk was in Pokemon X and Y, but it was unused. So it's so cool and a little bit weird that it's made its way into Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. The battle pocket, that's for stuff like Mega Stones and X items. Power up pocket, that's evolution items and Zinks and that kind of stuff. And you've also got the Pokemon box directly in your item menu, which is such an amazing improvement. It's really nice being able to access your other Pokemon just from your item menu. A lot of questions have revolved around the fact of whether your Pokemon get healed if they go into the Pokemon pocket. I actually don't know. I hope they probably do. They probably do, but that's going to make Nuzlocke runs and stuff like that a lot easier. You can be able to heal your Pokemon on the run, which is a little bit lame, I guess. But at the same time, Nuzlocke rules are self-enforced, so it'll just be like, don't switch your Pokemon into the Pokemon boxes, like you would in the typical Nuzlocke anyway. Anyway, we are going to be sent on a little task right here to go to Viridian City. We are on the road to Viridian City. We are going to have to pass through Route 1, where a minor addition, a minor change has been made to Route 1, which you're going to see in just a little second. Pikachu is staring at your face. It's following you, just like how some of the Pokemon interacted with you in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, how they followed you. Pokemon following you is back, and I'm a massive supporter of that. You can also see the Pokedex entries. I didn't know if Pokedex entries are actually going to be a freaking thing in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, but they are, and that's fantastic. You can interact with your Pokemon that way. You can see its battle animations, stuff like that. It's adorable. I love it. If I was dwelling, Pokemon stores electricity in its cheeks or something. I didn't read that. I'm from Birmingham. I can't read anyway. It's fine. It's fine. Let's head on to Route 1, shall we? And here's our mother to say hello. Oh, how cute. Is this the one you got from the professor? What? You caught it yourself? That's the thing. You catch it yourself. That's what I wasn't allowed to show in the little cut that I had to make to this footage. You got a town map from Mom, and I'm going to show you guys the town map in just a second because I want to, I don't know, just showcase each area. I wanted to see if there was any additional areas that were maybe added to Let's Go, that were added to the Kanto region. There probably is, but they're not like visible on the map as of yet. But let's have a look at the town map right here. Use this item. It's going to give you a nice little picture in the top right of the city and a little overview, a little description underneath the picture, which is pretty snazzy. It's just a town map. There's not much else I can really say about this, is there? Let's be honest. Let's just continue on to Route 1, where we are going to start capturing our first Pokemon. You are given 50 Pokeballs, and as you can see right there, a brand new addition to Route 1 is Oddish. If you're playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, in Let's Go Eevee, it is going to be Bellsprout. Oddish is just a typical grass-type Pokemon. Its stats aren't really that great. The reason they've added Oddish to the earlier routes is so you have some way of countering Brock before you go in there with just a Pikachu that isn't very good against rock and ground types. So Oddish, I'll explain more in future episodes, I guess. Right now on screen is Rattata. Rattata, just a typical normal type, I guess. It's got decent attack and decent speed, but it's not exactly going to be a Pokemon that you will keep on your team for your entire journey. It learns a couple of good attacks like Super Fang, which can do a poop ton of damage to opponents' Pokemon. Other than that, it's just a niche little starter Pokemon that you'll keep on your adventure for the first 1 or 2 gyms, and then you'll want to ditch for something else. The final new Pokemon on this route, which I'm going to showcase on screen right now, is going to be Pidgey. And Pidgey is a Pokemon I really want to endorse. I really want to say that it's a good Pokemon. And it's just a little bit like Rattata in where it's decent for the first couple of gyms. Unfortunately, in the Kanto region, it actually isn't good for the first couple of gyms because 2 of the 3 gyms are super effective on Pidgey, but it's just a pretty underwhelming normal flying type. You'll run into much better flying type Pokemon on your adventure. It's good for filling your party in the early game, but you'll want to ditch it as soon as humanly possible, really. Now, on Route 1, after a bit of exploring, there are a couple of hidden items and stuff like that, but right now there isn't really much going on this route. So all I really wanted to do was capture a couple of Pokemon, get used to the catching mechanics, which, let's talk about them, shall we? They're split in the Pokemon community quite a lot. Wild encounters, stuff like that. Replacing wild encounters with just, like, not being able to battle wild Pokemon is brilliant. Honestly, playing it, it feels a lot better than it did in previous main series Pokemon titles where you had to battle them. You get a ton of experience for catching Pokemon. When you discard Pokemon in the Pokemon box, you can get candy for Pokemon, which will buff your Pokemon stats. This is a really intuitive, nice way to train your Pokemon. It genuinely feels better than just grinding on wild Pokemon for hours. I promise you that. I'm not just saying that to be a shill. But the catching mechanics take a little bit of getting used to. You're going to see in a future episode where Pokemon like move across the screen, where they escape a ton of Pokeballs, and it can be really troublesome. It can be really difficult to be accurate with your Pokeball Plus or Joy-Con throws. That's going to be something that takes quite a little while to get used to, and right now I'm kind of on the fence about that. But wild Pokemon being replaced, well, wild Pokemon battles being replaced with just capturing the wild Pokemon, honestly, really intuitive, really nice, a massive improvement, genuinely. Anyway, I'll stop being a shill. Let's continue on to Viridian City right here, and there's quite a lot of stuff going on. We're going to just take a look at the Pokemon Center and listen to the music. I am just like kind of taking in the music quite a lot here. It is really nostalgic. This is such a nice little throwback, a nice little journey of, I don't know. Well, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. This is just nonsense, but it's really nice to play through what I originally played through 20 odd years ago. It was described to us as a throwback adventure. Like, it's supposed to make people new to the Pokemon series feel how we felt 20 years ago. And by that description, I honestly think these games are a perfect demonstration of that. But who are these guys? Who are these guys? Jesse and James replace the drunk old man in Viridian City as the little twerps that block your way to Route 2 and Viridian Forest. Unfortunately, Meowth doesn't go, "That's right," or anything, but our first little interaction, seeds of a little bit of evilness are on Viridian City, or in Viridian City. But anyway, we have to get this parcel from this man right here. A nice little quality of life change right here is that this man is going to say, "You want to just walk back to Pallet Town?" And that is incredible. Do you want to head straight back to the lab? Hell yeah, we do. We do not want to waste any time around here. We go straight back to Professor Oak's laboratory, which is really nice. You don't have to like make several journeys up and down Route 1, which someone like me who likes just speeding through games as quick as humanly possible, that's really nice. I really like that. The graphics are freaking gorgeous, especially playing it in person. I have been sold on these games, but of course I have. I've been wined and dined by the Pokemon Company. But I don't want that to be a thing that you guys think is like, oh, PD Winnell's just a freaking shill now. I'd tell you if I didn't enjoy these games. And I genuinely really have enjoyed the 2 hours that I've played, as well as playing a little bit in July at Nintendo UK Versus. But anyway, I've just been delivered some very handy items. We get some raspberries. Raspberries work exactly like they do in Pokemon Go. I'm going to showcase them in the next episodes, which will be tomorrow when you want to catch a Pokemon. So I throw one of those at your target before you take a Pokeball in hand. You'll find the wild Pokemon will be so happy to have a berry to nibble on that they'll become much easier for you to catch. That's a very cutesy way of describing it, Professor Oak. Now then, you two. It's up to you to decide if you want to catch lots of different Pokemon or simply focus on training your favorites. My only request is that you have fun either way. That's really lame, Oak. No, I'm kidding. It's nice. It's just, I have a lot to say about these games, and I'm kind of struggling to say it all in a way that isn't just like, oh my god, I got to play the games early. But right now, we have to take on our rival for the first time. There's going to be quite a few rival battles over the course of the next couple of episodes. You are challenged by Pokemon trainer Richie for the very first time. He is going to have whichever Pokemon you didn't pick. So Eevee in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and Pikachu in Let's Go Eevee. I'm unsure if this Eevee is buffed in the same way that your Pikachu is, in the way that your companion Pokemon is, in the same way that your starter Pokemon is. So that's going to be something that we find out in November, I guess. But judging by how easy this battle was, I'm going to presume it's just a normal Eevee, because how else would they have been able to code it? I don't think there was any special anything in the code to enable this Eevee to be a little super powered version of it. The movesets for some Pokemon have changed, as you guys have probably seen in previous trailers. Pikachu can now learn, I believe it's Double Slap. It learns a fighting type attack to make the first gym battle versus Brock just a touch easier. So movesets have been changed. It's going to be really interesting to see what else has been added to several Pokemon's movesets. But anyway, this is the first rival battle down, and this is going to be where we end off the first episode of my little Let's Play of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I hope I've been able to inform you guys on some of the things that I really did like actually playing in person, and a couple of the things that I thought, hey, maybe weren't perfect actually playing these games. Really can't wait to upload my second part, so if you guys enjoyed this, a like would be really appreciated. If this gets 1,000 likes, I'll upload the second part tonight. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.